Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Bridging Black Love with
Misha.
and Dr. Jacqueline. We're really excited. We have some interesting topics that we want to share with you guys today. Misha, take it away.
Sure. So, what we are going to be talking about today is how do you give your new partner the new feel? Make sure that he or she is getting the new authentic experience with you. You
That's
want
a
to
great
start?
question. That's a great question. I don't know. I feel like when I go into any relationship, it's so new to me because that person is, I want to give them the best of myself. So I try, operative word
Mhm.
is try, to give them, the best parts of me and all the, not all the damage like craziness comes out first. But so I really try to just take it for what it is because
Mhm.
even though, I'm a little older now, I feel like people are coming at me in different ways than people I've had in the past, if that makes any sense.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. I know when I first read the question, I initially thought about a lot of the feedback we've gotten over the last couple years about how the older woman is kind of hard to impress and or provide new experiences for. And dating as a 40 plus woman, I kind of see that on the other end as well. You know, we're none of us are virginal for the most part.
We're
We've
not.
all
We're not
had
original.
we've all gone on several trips. We've all experimented and done various things. We've all pretty much experienced many things, you know, with other people. But I have been in a situation where I felt like, okay, is there anything new under the sun, or is there anything that is just about like us and our experience? And I think for me, I try everything. Well, I haven't done a whole lot with a, you know, even though I've traveled with people before, I have not gone a lot of international places with people. So I try to find like new things to do with my new person so that he gets to feel like he's a part of a unique experience with me. And even if I've
Mhm.
done it with someone before, I don't feel the need to keep saying, oh, well, the last time I was here, you know, or oh, when me and my ex went to such and such a place, we did X, Y, and Z. And almost to the point where he may feel like it is my first time. It's not that I'm dishonest about it or not share that I've been somewhere, but I also just don't feel a need to always say, oh, when I was here last, or when I was here with my ex, or when I did X, Y, and Z with my ex. So I think it's important to create these new things with with new people.
And I agree with you. Nobody wants to hear, well, I used to do that with my ex, or I've done this, or I've done that. And I think that, the way I try to look at it is I've been, I used to live in New York. I've been in New York so many times. I've been with the kids. I've been with, people, family. Each time I go, it's a new experience because I'm experiencing with that person that
Right.
I'm having that experience. So that's how I try to look at it with anything that I do. A new relationship, this is new to me. Like I'm seeing New York, but we may do something completely different than
Hmm.
what I did in the past, even living there. You know, we may go to a part of Queens or a part of Long Island that I never experienced before, or even going over to Staten Island. So I feel like for me, I'm getting the new experience each and every time because I'm seeing it with that person. And I've matured, I've gotten older, more
Hmm.
seasoned. I like to say more seasoned. So I try to make it seem like, this is just so wonderful because I'm doing it with you. And that's really what it is. I'm doing it with you. This is my first time experiencing this with you. And, that's kind of part of life. Like, even when I take my kids places, we may have gone to, I keep using New York because that's the best example. One was born in New York, but each time we go, it's a different experience and they take something different away. So that's how I try to do with a partner. Even though we're older, I've done a lot of things, it's a new time, first time with that person. So that's how I try
Exactly.
to look at it.
Exactly. And I see it the same way. And I think it's, we may not say it much,
Mhm.
but I feel like I'm definitely not the only person who wonders sometimes, like, okay, is there anything that is uniquely us? Like,
Mhm.
are any experiences are uniquely ours? Like, even if we're going to a place or we're doing something you've done 50, 1100 times,
Mhm.
this is the first time we are doing it, and this is our thing, or this is our trip, or this is
Right.
our new mode of like whatever.
Mhm.
And so I think, even going back to like, let's revisit some of these conversations that we've overheard of men, talking about why younger women are more appealing because, they're just getting their passport for the first time. Or, I'm taking her to this nice restaurant that she never got to go to. And, most 40 plus women, we do those things for our girlfriends. We do those things with our girlfriends. We do those things for ourselves. And so it's not necessarily like we're being exposed to something for the first time. So kind of how do you manage, like, how do you kind of give that gratitude or appreciation to someone to make them feel like, not that like they expose you to champagne when you've been drinking Kool-Aid, but like, how do you make them feel like that you're appreciative of these things?
Well, for me, I believe, expressing gratitude is very important. So saying thank you, because genuinely, if somebody really wants to spend time with me and really want to expose me to something that I haven't had before, there's very much an air of gratitude, an air of thank you. And even if I've been there before, there's still an air of gratitude because you didn't have to do it. But with things like that, I've not been to every single restaurant, even here in Seattle. There's so many restaurants I've never been to. So I really am excited because that's the first time doing this with that person. I've been eating since I was
girl, we haven't.
I mean, like I've tasted a lot of things. That sounds crazy, but I've tasted a lot of things. But there's some places where it's like, wow, it's genuinely like, oh, I got to try this place for the first time. Like it was really, really good, or it wasn't good. I don't express those things unless we're both like, this was awful. But like, I just feel like it's the intent behind it and being gracious. A lot of people don't seem to be gracious, especially in these dating streets. And some of the things that some of these men and women say, I'm like, who raised you? Who raised you?
Right.
Because who doesn't like a nice seafood restaurant overlooking the water? I live in an area that's overlooking water. And every time I go to a new place, I'm like, oh, okay. And then you get an opportunity to get cute. You're looking good for that man that you're with.
Right.
So and even if like somebody offered to take me on a trip today, and I'm like, oh, that sounds amazing. Because I've been there and I've never been a person.
Right,
So
exactly.
and I feel like even when I hear some of the men talking about, because, we hear these conversations, this is what we do. So we're in the midst of a lot of conversations. So when men are like, well, women over the age of 35 or 40 or whatever, I just feel like that's a cop-out. In a lot of ways, I feel it's a cop-out. Because if you have a woman who is genuinely interested in you, she will follow you to the side of the road.
And I think you hit the nail on the head when you said genuinely interested in you, because if somebody's genuinely interested in you, they're probably not going to be like, I've done that before. Oh, I could do that for myself. Oh, I take myself to these restaurants all the time. So find somebody that's gracious at whatever age they might be, because no matter if they've been somewhere no times or 100 times, they've not been there with you. And that's the point, like just being grateful. And even just giving somebody like an opportunity, like something different. Like, me, I'm a picky eater. I like the average 9-year-old palate. But for a partner that I've been with recently, I'll try things that I've never tried before. And if I don't like them, we won't eat them again. But you get to provide me a new experience. Now I can say that I ate X, Y, and Z for the first time with you. Try to give people something special so that we have that memory always.
Exactly. And Misha, you and I, we travel quite a bit together. We are not in a romantic relationship. Sorry, girls, but we're not. Okay? But we are, we're very good friends. We're very close. We travel a lot together. And I can genuinely say that each time we go somewhere, I have a good time. And it's like, it's a good time. It doesn't matter if we've been to Atlanta 12 times over. I'm still having a good time with you and whomever else we're with. So I think it's really about being around people that are genuinely appreciative and genuinely gracious and are willing to have a good time. Because someone who's going to tell you, oh, I've done that. I don't like that. And you already know that doesn't fly with me, man, woman, child. Like, you're not my person.
Right. So I think, Exactly. So what do you guys think? How do you keep it new? How do you provide these new authentic experiences? And how do you show gratitude?
Exactly. And how do you go about making it feel new? Even if you've been there a million times. We've all eaten Italian.